So I've been doing like the entrepreneurship thing, as corny as it sounds, since I was like 9 years old. I was in 4th grade. I was hustling. I was selling duct tape wallets. I got my friends to manufacture. We had like a plant, which means my mom's garage. But we'd show up on the weekends, make hundreds of duct tape wallets, go sell them at school. We were selling like 3 or 4 different elementary schools. At the time, it wasn't really about the money. It was just an excuse that would allow my parents to allow me to have friends over and hang out with people. So yeah, I've been, bringing people together and working towards things for basically my whole life. I've been seeing success in it for the last 2 years, maybe, but I've been doing the entrepreneurship thing for a while now.
This is the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, a podcast about Middle Tennessee business owners and professionals. Mostly.
So you went like to the new golf place the other day, is that right?
I did. So not the new one. I went to Putt Shack with our company. One of our employees has like an influencer package thing she does. So they asked her to come out with our company and play some golf. Yeah, have you been?
I have not. I've only been to Top Golf.
Okay.
Is it similar?
No, this is indoor. So this is like putt, but like pretty elaborate courses. So you're like putting through like a funnel it's like, yeah, it's
just weird. Mm-hmm. Is there something that is also similar to like Tiger Woods did something here recently?
Oh,
right?
No, he's doing it's a whole league. It's an indoor tournament, but the technology behind their stadiums is crazy. So it's like, think of it as like any stadium, like a high school gymnasium, for example, but 4 times the size.
Right.
And the ergonomics in the floor move. So you don't have to go to a different hole. The hole moves to you.
Oh, wow.
So you hit and then, and the next it'll change, and it's crazy.
That is nuts.
It's wild. And they do pairs of 2. They're getting sponsors left and right. Yeah, it's wild.
It's all technology based, of course.
All
right?
technology. Yeah. Are you a big golfer?
No, not at all. I just I saw that recently. You went to you did kind of had a company outing.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious because I've been hearing about all these new, like it seems like Top Golf-esque places popping up all over the country, especially in Nashville.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we work with a few of them. So I think probably what you're referring to is the golf simulators where you're hitting at a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of those.
We have one in
up.
Spring Hill all of a sudden.
Yeah. We work with like there's one called Birdie Bros. I think we do some work with, if you know them. I think they're actually in Franklin.
Are
I'm
they?
not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Like you said, they're popping up left and right.
Well, there you go. So, yes, you are listening to the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast. I am Jim McCarthy, and got to thank my good friend Matt Wilson for providing the voiceover on the front end. Go check out his podcast, the Mostly Marketing Podcast with Matt Wilson. This is coming from the Christian Brothers Automotive of Spring Hill Studios. My friend Jason Miller over there, he's a great dude. They do a great, honest job, and they have really reasonable pricing as well. So, and it's also powered by Muletown Bikes. If you guys are interested in learning more about e-bikes, and it seems to be like the craze these days, Muletown Bikes is a great place to check out. They're right there in Columbia on the square. Vinny Tavares down there is a great guy to talk to. He owns the place, and he's busting his butt to get the e-bike. He's like forming e-biker gangs all around the area.
I need one.
Yeah.
I need one.
Like in my neighborhood, I got a bunch of kids that ride around on e-bikes.
Yeah.
And we call them the e-biker gangs.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I'm from Southern California, and over near Huntington Beach, there's swarms of them, like hundreds of them.
Really?
Riding at a time. They have no lights on at night. So literally driving at night back in Huntington Beach, you feel like...
Makes it fun.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. It's definitely interesting. You have a great radio voice. What can I improve on?
Just dare I say, my manhood dropped about 9 years ago, and all of a sudden it got this deep.
Okay. So I just got time.
I mean, also, plus reading 30,000 pieces of content will do the same thing. So,
yeah. Okay.
I mean, a lot of what I do is voiceover. So
yeah. Both of those sound like they'll take years for me. So.
Yeah. Well, it's just, you can use what you got, you know, and that's Gilbert Gottfried did. Mm-hmm. That's, if you remember him, he was the Aflac duck guy.
Yeah.
Aflac.
Yeah, I need to learn how to do that.
Well, I think you're doing just fine with what you're doing.
Working on it.
Yeah.
Working on it.
I love your humility. So the voice you're hearing is Ander Sevilla. And you're with Blacklight. I say on YouTube, in a LinkedIn, it says Blacklight Group,
yes, sir.
But it's just Blacklight.
Yep.
And the Torch Collective, you're also a nominee for Forbes 30 Under 30. So you got a lot going on.
I do. I have a lot going on. Unfortunately, I didn't make Forbes this year, but hopefully next year we're on the list.
You've got time.
Yeah, I'm 27, so running out of time, but it's coming up.
Running out of time, dude. You'll find out that eventually the next 3 years will go by in a blink of an eye, but it seems like a long time at this where you are now.
And it flies by. It's
really
definitely
does.
flying by. It's terrifying.
So you started out where, you said in Southern California. That's where you were born, where you grew up?
Yeah, so I was born in Southern California, spent my youth there, went to school there, moved to Spain actually when I was 17 for a little bit, came back, then moved to New York for a little bit, came back to Southern California, and then came here to Nashville about 3 years ago.
Where you said you were around Connecticut or New York?
New York.
Okay.
My family's in Connecticut. I was interning in New York for a little bit
Okay.
when I was younger. Yeah.
So how did you get to where you are now? Tell me the story.
That's a great question. So I've been doing like the entrepreneurship thing, as corny as it sounds, since I was like 9 years old. I was in fourth grade. I was hustling. I was selling duct tape wallets. I got my friends to manufacture. We had like a plant, which means my mom's garage. But we'd show up on the weekends, make hundreds of duct tape wallets, go sell them at school. We were selling like 3 or 4 different elementary schools. At the time, it wasn't really about the money. It was just an excuse that would allow my parents to allow me to have friends over and hang out with people. So yeah, I've been, bringing people together and working towards things for basically my whole life. I've been seeing success in it for the last 2 years, maybe, but I've been doing the entrepreneurship thing for a while now.
Who inspired all that?
It's another great question. I think early on it's kind of like I said, it was a reason to hang out with people I liked hanging out with and giving us something to work towards other than just sports, which I love sports. I played basketball I played in college. Basketball is my life.
You got the height.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have the weight now too, but we got to work on that.
You go into football now.
Yeah. I'm a transition. Yeah. So early on, it was just hanging out with friends. I think as I started consuming a lot of television and watched a lot of movies. Again, not to be corny, Wolf of Wall Street, Social Network, all those movies just really...
When did you watch? How old were you when you watched Wolf of Wall Street?
Not old enough.
Oh my gosh.
I was probably, I don't know when it came out, but probably 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, gosh. When did that movie came out? I think 2013, 2014.
So I would have been like a freshman in high school. It's like 14.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's like
probably old enough, actually.
It's like when you guys probably don't remember Porky's.
Don't.
Yeah. Do you? You remember Porky's? So in the
Porky's?
Studio are your some of your people here. So
okay.
Just referring to them. They Porky's was like, that was a sneaky movie you had to watch.
Yeah.
So your parents didn't catch you.
What is it?
It was like one of these 80s spoof comedy, coming of age type of movies where, hey, let's go sneak into the girls' locker room and spy, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah,
things.
we call that jail time now.
Pretty much. Yeah. Back in the 80s, it was just fun and frivolity.
Yeah. It was lighthearted.
Yeah, it was like that's what created Epstein. Apparently.
Yeah. The Epstein thing is crazy. That's all over the place right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's huge right now.
Yeah,
but it's like none of us are without skeletons in our closets. So it's he's got some pretty big skeletons though. So
some big ones. Yeah. What got you into what you do?
My father was an entrepreneur.
Interesting.
He was always a guy who lived by his own way of doing things. There was a right way, the wrong way, and Dad's way. Mm-hmm. And he had a business we always just knew of him having his own business. But we also saw the hardships of that in terms of there was a recession in 1991. I was 15, 16 years old, and we saw what it did to him. He was in his 50s at that point, and he took probably a 20-person company, and it went back down to him.
Wow.
He was back in a pickup truck pulling wire and getting up on ladders and all that stuff. And, my brother and I were of the age that we had to help him. Yeah. Weekends, after school, all that stuff, answering phones.
That is the unfortunate truth about entrepreneurship, isn't it? Is you can lose everything all at once.
It's a cycle of business.
Yeah. It's terrifying, but it's also, it weeds out a lot of the competition.
It does. But it's one of those things that as I've gotten older, it's my faith has gotten stronger in the sense that what will be, will be. Mm-hmm. I will control what I can control, and I'll do the best I can in that arena. Yeah. And make the best of it, and surround myself with the best people possible to help move this whole thing in the right direction. Yeah. With our business here at J2, it's been a tough couple of years. Yeah. But we kind of came into what we're doing with a lot of momentum with the lighting industry and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think every business has to go through. Every business owner, every entrepreneur has to experience the valleys to appreciate the mountaintops. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And I think we're just kind of going through that now.
Yeah.
And that's all right.
Yeah. It's much more fulfilling knowing it's yours, though, and seeing it build from the ground up.
Oh, totally. Totally.
What's been your favorite part?
My favorite part?
Yeah.
Having a lot of, it's like Gary Vee talks about it. He says entrepreneurship to him is like oxygen. He says, if I were to go to work for somebody else, I'd feel like I'm choking.
I agree.
Once you start getting that experience of relatively coming and going as you please. If you want to take some time off, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you still got to get the work done. You still got to please your clients. You still got to make sure you're creating revenue and generating all those types of things. And of course, adapting, conceptually putting yourself out of business from your competitor's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
All those things that come along with it. It's an exciting lifestyle.
It is
in both ways,
mm-hmm.
especially, when you start getting successful, it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much fun, but I mean, that's the risk you take even when you go to work for somebody.
Yeah.
You're limiting your revenue to one stream, maybe two.
Yeah.
In business and any sort of business, as you probably know, you got to have 3 legs to a stool to keep it standing.
Yeah.
I am Vinny Tavares. I'm the owner of Milltown Bikes, right in the heart of Columbia, Tennessee, on the square. And we're here to serve the community. We have bicycles from kids to adults, e-bikes, mountain bikes, road bikes. We run a repair shop. So I am the 3rd generation of this current bike shop. It's been here since the 70s. It's a historical building. It's an integral part of the downtown community in Columbia. We got customers here coming in and talking that they got their very first bike here. So the reception has been great. Everybody's been super friendly, super welcoming. A lot of the old customers that been coming here for generations now still come here. They're now my customers, and I have a huge responsibility to continue to carry that legacy and that passion forward.
Hi, I'm Jason Miller. I'm the owner of Christian Brothers Automotive here in Spring Hill, Tennessee. We fix cars here, both European and domestic, from simple oil changes to complete engine rebuilds and replacements. Most important thing, though, is while you're waiting, we've got the best snack game in town, and we invite you to make yourself at home and get to know us, and we treat you like family. We're located right across the street from Walmart on Highway 31 right here in Spring Hill. Let us know that you heard about us on this ad, and we'll give you 10% off your next oil change. So stop on in and see us in downtown Spring Hill. Do we even have a downtown in Spring Hill?
If you weren't doing entrepreneurship, what do you think you'd be doing?
Selling cars.
Yeah?
That's what I did once.
Where at?
I sold at Mercedes of Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did there for a while. Started in Crest Honda up in off of Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
And went from there.
I'm working with this company right now that they're, I guess I'm part of it as well, but automating like the BDC process for car dealers and seeing like the fall through rate is ridiculous. Having like a 2% close rate, seeing that 99% of the time, whichever dealer sells to the person is just the dealer that answered the phone first.
Yeah.
And you have hundreds of sales reps that aren't doing that and they're missing. And I don't, no disrespect to the car dealership culture, but it needs a lot of work for sure.
Well, you're hitting on something that's absolutely correct. In that business, the culture is what matters. And typically car dealership cultures are, probably 80% of them are just, you're swimming with the sharks. You don't know who you can trust.
It's a frat.
It is. It's a frat. It's a lot of dog eat dog.
Yeah.
But I've experienced, Mercedes Music City for one. I know the owner, the CEO, and he's a big culture guy.
Yeah.
He believes his title stands for Culture Enforcement Officer. But
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. We know Walker Chevrolet pretty. We're pretty tight with them.
Down
in Franklin. Yeah.
I've not known too much of their culture or anything.
Yeah.
You could tell a lot about a culture at a car dealership. Go to their website, go to the About Us and the team page, and if it's a lot of blank pictures, you could get a pretty good idea.
You need to know.
It's a revolving door.
Yeah.
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 If they got a list of guys and the bottom 3 get jettisoned after every month, that's no way to run it. I don't get it, because all these dealerships are doing when they do stuff like that is shooting themselves in the foot. Because you got to bring new talent on, you got to train them. It's so expensive.
Yeah, and there's a high turn rate, I imagine, with employees, and as you probably know, it probably takes 3 months to even get the employees up to a point where they're actually providing value to your business, whether it's a dealership or not.
Yeah.
So people come in, they get trained, they leave. You start from scratch every 3 months, like that.
On average.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the first 3 months was just I had 1 foot out the door.
Yeah.
And it's finding the people that see it as a career, not as a job. And I had 1 foot out of the door because I was just transitioning from radio into the car business.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was, I could do the entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, not yet. I get what you're saying, but now's not the time.
Yeah.
You're in this for a reason. You have something to learn.
Yeah.
And she was right.
Yeah.
And I learned a ton in that business.
Did you?
I don't know if I would sell cars. I'd rather be a marketing guru inside a dealership group.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Going around shooting video, coming up with concepts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
there's a dealership in Jersey that does a great job of that. I don't know the dealer's name, but I know it's George Sabia or something like that. And he's built his entire dealer. It's exotic cars and it's privately owned, but his whole thing is media. And he's developed a huge following on every platform because he's personal. He shows the transactions. He shows the conversations with the people that are buying his cars.
Yeah.
He shows the process of the back end of how a dealership is ran. And as you probably know, there's a huge community that loves exotic cars. So it also makes it easier when your videos are showing Lamborghini SVJs and not Toyota Corollas, or you know what I mean? So that's a big draw as well.
It's funny because as I gotten older, I that was a huge thing for me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Countaches used to hang on my wall in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big Ferrari guy. And then Joe Agresti opened up the Ferrari dealership, Prancing Horse. And even then when I went and shot video, I was like, they're cars.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, Mercedes, I never thought I'd be a German fanatic of automobiles, man. BMWs, Mercedes, they're just good looking cars.
I'm a big Porsche guy.
Yeah.
Porsche's German, right? Yeah.
Pretty much Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Audi is a good looking car.
I mean, from what I understand, Porsches are great because it's the most bang for your buck performance wise, and it retains its value better than a Mercedes or a BMW. Like right now, if you go on market, even a 718 Cayman, it's like $10K less than it was at retail.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
A buddy of mine actually, that I came up in the car business with. Yeah. I went to Mercedes. He went to Porsche of Nashville.
Yeah.
And he's a huge Porsche guy.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. It's a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they all are. I mean, you got believers in Mercedes, and when I used to get customers that were comparing us against BMW, and I would always joke with them, like, well, I get it. I said, you do realize what BMW stands for, and they go, or backwards, what it says means backwards. They go, what's that? I said, wants Mercedes Benz.
That makes sense.
I said, eventually you kind of start out with BMW and you grow up and you get mature and you get into Mercedes.
Yeah.
You realize what good
They
is.
start selling them in adult sizes. It's called Mercedes.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
So getting into everything that obviously starting hanging out with your buddies, having a natural proclivity to get into what you're doing today. Who did you draw your inspiration from? Was there anybody online that you were following or anything like that? Who kind of started pouring into? Because everybody's got somebody. That poured in.
No, I think at first it was fictional. Like I said, it was, and I guess these movies are based off true events, but watching, the Wall Street movie, watching Social Network, there's one called Super Pumped, which is about the guy that founded Uber.
Yeah.
There's another, I forget the guy's name, but the man who started Spotify, and I think Sweden is where he's from.
Right.
So watching them and realizing that that's actually like what happened in real life, that combined with not being the best student and having really bad ADD, I like, for me, you probably agree with it, I'd be a terrible employee. Like there is no plan B. Like, if I'm not successful as an entrepreneur, I won't be successful at all. So it was a mix of seeing inspiration in those, and then also understanding like my strengths and my weaknesses, and realizing that I need to go down this path. I don't know if I shared this with you, but I was going to go to law school. I studied for the LSAT, took the LSAT, got accepted to a few schools, and I was doing a summer internship, and I met with some of the partners. Like, if you're lucky, by the time you're 40, you'll pay off your debt. You might be a partner. Starting salary in California is like 92 to 130.
Yeah. As
an attorney, I'm like, so at 20 years from now, I'm going to be making 130 and still have debt. Like, there's got to be another way.
Yeah.
There's got to be another way. And I didn't even love it that much. So to me, that was the other thing. Is like, if I don't even love this, there's no way I'm going to be able to compete with the people who do.
My brother's an attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's, he's 55. So he's looking for the next thing of life.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing it 30 years.
Yeah. Does he like it?
Yeah. You're dealing the emotional toll. There are guys in that business that either, I think, really just love it. That's why you got these partners that just never leave.
Mm-hmm.
These guys that are in their 80s. I just did a video shoot with one downtown. I mean, the guy's 82 years old. He loves it.
Yeah.
Because, the relationship, I guess it's the kind of law that you do.
Yeah, for sure.
They're more of a transactional type of law firm. My brother is litigation.
That's incredible. That's fun. That's...
But dude, think if you you're constantly dealing with people's problems, arguments, trying to counter, you're dealing with just conflict constantly.
I can see that being hard to leave at work. Yeah. I think a fear of mine was, again, I'm a little bit younger, so coming up in the age where AI has taken over a lot of industries, like I was going to go into corporate law, so drafting contracts for mergers and acquisitions, we could do that in 12 seconds with AI now. So I wouldn't have a job right now.
You still got to make sure it's right.
Yeah, true. But
Yeah.
As an early law school, not that if I went to law school and graduated, I'd be doing clerk work and early on work. And nowadays that's automated.
Yeah.
At least to my knowledge, I don't own a law firm, so I don't know. But yeah, I didn't see the room to growth, and I didn't see the intrinsic fulfillment as an option there. I didn't see that making me truly happy.
How old are you when you did this? You had these realizations?
22.
Interesting.
21, 22.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So no college, no nothing.
No, I went to college.
Okay.
I didn't go to law school. So
Okay.
I got finished with my bachelor degree. And then while I was applying to law school and doing the LSAT, which is like the entrance exam essentially, that's when I came to that revelation.
Were you entrepreneurial in college?
I was, not successfully, but I was trying. Yeah. Actually, I started seeing some success in college. I came up during the NFT era, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Just digital assets.
Non-fungible tokens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So made some good money there. Lost it all, restarted from scratch. I was working in a warehouse from like 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then in a restaurant from like 5 p.m. to midnight every day for like 8 months during COVID, saving up money to start my next business. Started that business, lost everything again. And then I was like, shit, I just need to restart somewhere else.
Right.
So packed my car, drove to Nashville. Had never visited. Met my business partner here. He was living in Michigan at the time. And we just decided we need to find a place that's a faster growing city. There's more room for growth. Being in Southern California, it's beautiful, but the barrier to entry is tough. The poverty line there is like $82,000 a year. So if you don't have immense resources, it's hard to get started there. So we wanted to find a place that was a little more attainable to start a business in. So moved here about 3 years ago, and it's been off to the races since.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Because, I mean, that's what you're doing is very highly competitive in Nashville, too.
Yeah, it's very saturated.
Yeah.
And everywhere, not just Nashville. I mean, we have clients all over the country, but yeah, it's saturated.
Was
sure.
it? I mean, you did the NFT thing. That's like kind of in the crypto realm.
Yeah.
What are the things were you doing like throughout? Starting from duct tape wallets. What's the progression? What were some of the ideas?
Yeah, so duct tape wallets. Was doing some power washing back in the day, like in high school.
Yeah.
Got into college, did a few clothing brands that didn't work out. Did the NFT thing, made some money there. Started an investment fund that we still have today, but it's more private debt. So we take our investors' money, we loan it to exchanges for interest. We then return the principal to our investors and take the interest and invest that very aggressively. We basically gamble the interest earned. So we still have that up and running to this day. And then got to Nashville, started at the time it was a different marketing company, which now has become Blacklight. And really my passion is the private equity. So we're a marketing agency, but with some of our clients, we take ownership in the businesses in return for the marketing services. And that's really where my passion lies, is having our hands in as many income producing things as possible and helping as many businesses flourish as possible.
So you didn't even have Blacklight in existence when you moved here?
Yeah, no, there was nothing.
Not even an idea?
Just my car and a few $1,000s saved up.
So why the digital marketing space?
Yeah, I think it's the private equity. It's the idea that at the time I didn't have money to buy into businesses, but I knew I could provide a value that'd be worth some equity in them. So it was building infrastructure around services that we know would warrant giving us ownership in your businesses. So rather than spending $100,000 a month in marketing, you can give us 10% of your company and we'll do it for free.
And you just basically take your distributions every month?
We do. Again, 98% of our clients pay us a retainer, but the few and far in between where we do equity, that's like the long-term play we're working on.
And how do you vet them? What's your process?
Typical, like the same way like a VC would. We audit their finances. We see the market they're in, the total adjustable market. We see their margins. We see their operations. Like we don't do just marketing. We optimize their entire back end. So setting up integrations to automate their invoicing, their accounting, even their service delivery, whether it's a roofing company, construction, a barbershop, restaurant, chiropractic, whatever, it doesnns matter. But just helping those businesses cut costs up front for better profit margins. And that's where we get our money.
So you're looking into the inner workings of a business.
Yeah.
What about the people running it? Does that come into factor?
Not really. We tell everyone that works with us at our private equity function is like, we don't run your business for you. We're a partner for you. So we don't believe in having too many cooks in the kitchen. We show up and we do what we're best at, but we know that they're the most suited to run that company. I couldn't run a roofing company, but I can scale one. You know, so it's.
But I mean, knowing the person that's out there getting the business, networking, all the things.
Yeah.
Are they integrous? Are they,
Oh, we don't give them a choice. Yeah,
Right.
we set up transparent automations with everything. So it's not even, we're transparent about finances. So are they.
Yeah, I'm just saying that from my experience in the past, having business partners that, would talk big.
Yeah.
And, everybody around them knows they're talking big. And then when it came to delivering big, it was like one.
Yeah.
We just had those kinds of experiences. That's what I'm saying. A lot of assessment of businesses comes down to who's the operator.
It's
you know what I mean?
it's the whole thing, right? It's
Yeah.
I mean, we have investors and like they've made it clear, like they didn't invest in Blacklight, they invested in me. So if this doesn't work,
Right,
it's my
right.
fault, right? And we feel the same way. We invest in people. There's hundreds of, if we went like roofing is a big sector we work in. There's millions of roofing companies. So we're particular with who's running them, to your point.
A lot of here local.
Yeah, some here local, a lot on the West Coast, in like the Midwest.
Yeah,
Middle West. So Iowa, Montana, I believe. Yeah, all over the place.
So how did you start spreading the word about Blacklight? How did you hit the ground running?
It's a good question. So we started Blacklight when I first moved to Nashville. As I said, I'd never been here. So drove my car here, met my business partner here. We stayed with a friend for like 3 weeks till we found a house. We found a 6-bedroom house in Antioch, Tennessee for like $2,000 a month. I don't know how much you know about Antioch. I had a good experience there. I heard it's not always the same case there.
Right.
But we had a great experience. So we turned the house into an incubator. We saved up a little bit of money. So we were working there 15 hours a day. We were cold calling, going door to door, just hustling to get our first few clients. And from there, we went on and we got a WeWork downtown. So we were sharing an office a little bit smaller than this. We had like 5 of us in there. Again, cold calling every day, just hustling, going door to door, everything we could. Got the business to a point where we were able to raise a few $1 million, and then we've been scaling aggressively since then.
What was the pitch on the cold call? I don't know why.
For the investors or for the clients?
Anything. You could call the clients. What do you say?
Well, it's been 2 years since I was doing that, but the reason I called the company Blacklight is there's millions of marketing agencies. Usually they all suck. Like I could throw a rock at 20 people who have had a bad experience with a marketing company. So by aligning our experience with the poor experiences they've had with other marketing companies, we were able to churn them pretty quick. So telling them, hey, we don't do any long-term contracts carried magnificent weight, more than I thought it would. But most marketing agencies will force you to sign a 1-year deal. You're miserable by month 4 and you have 8 months of burn you can't really afford and you're locked into it. With us, you can leave whenever you want at no additional cost and keep all your assets. So that was a big selling point early on. The other thing was data transparency. So we developed a dashboard that allows our clients to track their ROI in real time. So you can see the money you made on advertising, the traffic on your media, all the web traffic you're getting, the conversion rate, et cetera. So just transparency up front was like the big pillar we built on. So depending on who we were calling, we'd know what pain points they're dealing with and tailored around that.
And taking a percentage in the business tells them you got skin in the game.
Exactly.
So the better they do, the better you do.
Exactly.
And that was that kind of a model that you would, well, why don't we just do it this way? Or was there somebody doing it that you drew inspiration from?
There's nobody in marketing doing that. Nobody that I've seen, at least. Some people were doing revenue sharing. So doing like a hybrid model where like pay us a diluted retainer and then give us X amount of what we generate for you. And that's where we started seeing success early on. But as that started happening, I started realizing like what's going to happen is we start making them too much money. They don't want to give us ownership in their business. So we got to get the ownership before we provide that immense value. Right. And if we don't provide value, they kick us out. And we have a vesting period. So we only get that equity if we deliver X, Y, and Z. So it protects them long-term and protects us.
I ask only because there's an author, actually the book's laying on its side there. I usually have it standing up. He wrote a trilogy of book back in the 90s for radio people. Yeah. People like me who wrote commercials for other marketing or, marketing, messaging and radio commercials for our clients. Mm-hmm. He would teach people how to write a decent radio ad.
Yeah.
His name is Roy H. Williams. And his organization is called the Wizard Academy. Mm-hmm. And the whole trilogy of books was called the Wizard of Ads.
Okay.
And it's an amazing concept.
Yeah.
And once you actually take the classes, so the Wizard Academy is in Austin, Texas. He also has a marketing agency.
Yeah.
And he was one of the first concepts I've ever heard similar to what you're talking about, where it's not, he basically says, look, you got to give me 12 months.
Yeah.
He goes into all these different clients. Says, I can't help you. If you're just sticking your toe in the water for a month or two.
Yeah.
You're not going to move the needle. You got to give me an annual.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me handle it. Let me handle the messaging. Mm-hmm. And he uses basically mass media to do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
But it's all based on how they perform.
I see.
So, and that's how he gets paid.
Yeah. We tell our clients, if you can't commit to 3 months, let's not even waste our time or your money. So we do 3 month like minimums essentially. And after that, it's month to month. Yeah. So by the time we build out the infrastructure, all the copy and all the data and everything, like it's going to take 3 months. Otherwise it's not even worth it for them or for us. So.
Well, he's one of those places that might be a good, at least a collaborator. If you ever have an opportunity to go to Austin, take a class because they call it a 21st century business school. Mm-hmm. It's called the Wizard Academy. It's up on a big old plateau on the, I guess not the Badlands, but the it's a beautiful scenic area. He's a huge Man of La Mancha fan. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these things kind of play into the different elements of the property, including he built a wedding chapel right on the property. Free to use for anybody. They got to make an appointment. If you want to get married and have a scenic background, free use wedding chapel. Come on, use it. And it's like, it gets in PR, you know, and it constantly gets people talking about the fact that they're at the Wizard Academy, Wizard Academy. They need to be more public and more out there with what they talk about. And I wish they would have a lot more engagement, but they're doing okay.
I can help with that.
I know. And it's one of those things that I'm just wondering if you go and you start making inroads down there. Like, I've always been a big fan of the platform and the methodology through which to get the message out there is one thing.
Yeah.
But the message still matters. What is it that you're saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So we open our California office on May 4th. So maybe I'll swing by on the way back.
Yeah. Austin, Texas, wizardacademy.org.
Yeah. Okay.
I urge you, reach out there and see take a class.
Yeah.
They'll freaking blow your mind.
Yeah. How long have you been in Nashville?
20 years. 21 years.
What have you found to be different running a business here than elsewhere?
I never ran a business anywhere else.
Okay.
I mean, other than my dad, you know, and him. And I ran my own. I guess I ran my own business out in Vegas. But again, I was, 25, 26, 27 years old when I was out there.
Yeah.
Learned about being an entrepreneur and having a side hustle because radio wasn't going to pay the bills for the long term. So I had to do something.
Yeah.
And the previous production director before that, who I took over for, he ended up moving to Orlando, and he came back and visited. And he said something, you know how you probably had these so far, but you'll have a lot more of these. People will say things that kind of like will file themselves in the back of your head. You probably remember certain things from the movies you watched, different little like, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
So he said something to me I'll never forget. He's like, man, I just got tired of seeing all the salespeople driving the really nice cars. And I'm like, dude, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do? He goes, I just started my own side hustle. And I called it, prodmonkey.com. And he started doing commercials for TV stations, whoever. I'm like, well, I could do that. And I started at that time, it was called C-Note spots. So $100, you get a spot.
Yeah.
Probably way undercharging.
Yeah. What's something else that stuck with you? Like any quotes or like
all
sayings?
The time, dude. I just can't really think of them right now. One of the things I actually talked about it at length yesterday, we learned it in the car business was, dude, car business experience was chock full of wisdom. So many different, like eye-opening. One of them, which was when you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot. Because in the car business with these car guys, you get so many people that, they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. You develop your own rhythm, your muscle memory, how to approach a customer, how to sell them, how to read them. And then when they'd have and these car dogs, these old car dogs, we would have, how dare a trainer come in and tell me how to sell cars? Yeah. I'm like, I get it. You've been doing this, 10, 15 years. Yeah. But dude, you mean you can't draw something out that maybe you haven't tried in a while, or maybe the fundamentals, going back to the fundamentals of everything is a good refresher course. I don't care what you're doing.
Right.
Even learning about how to run a radio board or how to process audio, I will go and watch a YouTube video and go, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
None of these guys were like, well, a majority of them were like, I don't need this guy to tell me how to sell cars.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole thing, well, if you stay green, you grow. If you're open to taking in new information, when you're ripe, you rot.
Yeah.
You're dead on the vine.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't tell you anything new.
Yeah.
So good luck.
No, I agree.
So that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
That was a big piece of good wisdom.
That's interesting.
And at my age, I'm like, dude, I want to stay green.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think it's a survival game, right? Like whoever adapts continues to grow.
I think
as soon as I learned that, I started seeing success. Obviously, being young and aggressive and hungry, I thought I knew everything. And for example, when I first moved to Nashville, again, coming from LA, spending some time in New York, I'm used to a very aggressive culture when it comes to business. That is not the South. Dude, that does not work here at all.
New York and LA, they're aggressive, but in such different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a show called Sex and the City.
I know it. Yeah.
And there's one part where Carrie goes out to LA.
I've never seen the show. I know Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah. Her character. The show's based in New York. And they're New Yorkers through and through.
Yeah.
But then she takes a jaunt out to LA and hangs out for a week or two, and she's like, everybody out here is so nice, But the thing is that they're all freaking disingenuous.
Yeah, that's fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's different.
She's like, at least in New York, I know where I stand.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Mm-hmm. I prefer being from the LA side. I prefer the New York side though.
Yeah, because you know where you stand.
Yeah. So coming to Nashville, I tried to be a New Yorker, and it doesn't work here. Here, it's about being kind and open and providing value to people for like, you have to like network your way through.
You do, and then you gotta, I think in all the markets, people's BS meters are highly attuned. Mm-hmm. They're very sensitive. Yeah. And people, I think in general in society, people just know when you see something online, on TikTok, on Instagram, and okay, I know you're kind of full of crap right now. You just, I mean, either life experience does it, or I especially with the generation coming up, my kid's generation is going to be the most cynical generation.
Yeah, for sure. Her generation is as well.
Yeah. Because they don't know what real is anymore.
Yeah.
What's AI? What's real? It's like all this kind of stuff. And they're not going to know. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be like, okay, you show me, don't tell me.
Right.
That's going to be a big way to kind of do life.
I'm really interested to see what that generation, like the kids who are 10, 11, 12 years old right now, what are they going to do career-wise out of college? Because it's shifting, and it's shifting quickly.
It is.
Like even like for the longest time, the STEM degrees, so like computer science, for example, wildly financially successful if you go down that route. Nowadays, it's pointless. Right. You can automate coding almost entirely. Like companies are just hiring product managers and running code up to that point where you need a technical product manager to take it over. Yeah. So I don't like, not to shit on those schools, but what are you doing if you're going to learn how to program in school? It's pointless. Also, you could learn for free elsewhere.
You can.
So what are your thoughts on college before I go down that path?
I think it's got an issue. It's got a problem in the next half decade to a decade. Yeah. College is, I think it's a big grift.
Yeah.
And because I came from a generation where they told us that if you don't go to college, you're not going to have an edge, and ultimately you're going to be a loser if you don't have a degree. And that was told to me ad nauseum, and it affected my self-esteem and how I perceived myself.
Did you go?
I went for 2 years, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And because I didn't graduate, that helped. I went back into a blue collar trade with my dad. Mm-hmm. Glad I did, because that parlayed into the electrical trade, which still comes in handy.
Yeah.
So to answer your early question, I think a lot of the trades are going to see a tremendous amount of talent start coming to the table.
Right now, there's a huge private equity migration to the trades. That's part of our model, is wrapping up roofing, flooring, HVAC, construction. You can't automate that. And if you could, it's too expensive. It's cheaper to just have a labor do it.
Yeah.
So that,
until they have AI robots doing it.
Yeah. And how expensive is that, right? But they've done studies where you take like 2 tracks, you take an 18-year-old that goes to college, another one who doesn't. The one who goes to college 4 years later is $150K in debt, has a degree that doesn't guarantee him anything. The one who went to the trades has made $400K over that time and is just starting his own plumbing company that 4 years after that will be worth $10 million, while the other one is still paying off his debt from college.
The thing about the trades, though, similar to the car business, is that they've got a black eye with reputation and how they conduct themselves. Mm-hmm. Because for the longest time, it was, relegated. The talent was relegated to, well, hey, it's the military or this.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 choices you have.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I always knew I didn't mind the trades, but it wasn't, my heart wasn't into it.
Yeah.
I knew at the time I wanted to go in the radio. I was over the aspect of, well, hey, I want to make a lot of money. And I knew radio didn't pay, but I'm like, well, it's got to be better than this. Because I was getting up every morning, like wondering why I had, like, my brother told, another little nugget of wisdom. My brother told me this. He says, if you're waking up every day wondering why you got to do it, what you're about to do again, you're in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You got to find something different.
I felt that way in college as well. It actually started pissing me off when I started having to pay for my own college. Sitting in class, I would see the dollar sign rotating every second while I'm listening to nothing.
Yeah.
And I'd be like in class.
Antiquated information.
It's all bullshit. I'd in an entrepreneurship class with somebody who had never built a successful. Why am I learning from you?
Yes.
What am I doing here? And it's costing me, by the way, $50,000 every semester I'm sitting here.
Oh my gosh.
And you're taking your time. Yeah. Like it pissed me off like beyond belief. So
my daughter is in UTC right now, and I've been very vocal since they were young that, look, if you're going to go to college, make sure it's on somebody else's dime. If you don't know why you're going to college, just do communications. Make sure it's on somebody else's dime, and understand that it's your first iteration into learning how to network.
Yeah,
that's where you're basically going to start learning how to network. This is the group of people you're probably going to keep the most in touch with for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
if not some of the people from high school, but pretty much these people.
Yeah,
and that's what do I know? Here we are. She went into music psychology at first, that was really hard. And I said, but you got to know why. The hard it becomes palatable when you know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she dropped the music aspect of, I just want to do psychology. That's still hard. Okay. Do you know why you're doing this? No. Then stop.
Yeah, if you don't have a why, you need to stop.
Yeah.
You need to stop. I have friends that, I guess not friends, but I know people that went to the best schools in the country, like Stanford, UCLA. They hate their jobs. They're not even making good money. They're miserable.
Those are the people I went to high school with.
Yeah.
That was another situation. After we moved to Vegas and I felt like I was actually being successful in the radio business.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, my now sister-in-law, she was dating my brother-in-law at the time. And she and I went to high school together. We graduated the same class. Yeah. We were of different cliques, if you will. I was more of the burnout, heavy metal, trench coat wearing guys with a mullet. And she was part of the preppy squad, the jocks and stuff like that. And at senior year in high school, we all kind of congealed. We all coalesced. We all had a good time together. I was like that, floater. I kind of went from different group to different group. Plus, I was the drummer in high school and the drummer. And so we went to this like party that she was having where we all grew up. She was still in Connecticut. And it was almost like a class reunion 10 years after the fact. Yeah. So here I am. I'm like, not crushing it financially, but man, I love getting up. I'm having a ball. We're happy.
That's all that matters, right?
We have a house. We got, life kind of underway. I'm in my element, and the class president, he and I go, hey, how you doing? Start talking. He was like, so what are you doing? I said, we're working for CBS Radio out in Vegas. It's a great town. It's fun. We own a house out there. We're having a blast. I said, I love getting up in the morning. I said, money's decent, but I got a side hustle. We're making it up, but I love what I do. And he's like, I wish I could say the same. Yeah. He's like, I went to college. I got an $85,000 a year job. I got the house that's way too expensive. I got the wife. I got the kids. And I work for regional Toyota. And it's like,
miserable.
I hate it.
Miserable. I have my 10-year reunion this year, actually, in May.
You going?
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to be interesting.
You going to show up in a helicopter or something like that?
Should I? Going for the Bruce Wayne thing, so.
I don't know, man. It's, if you can.
Yeah.
It's, what is it? It depends on how you want to be perceived.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I went to private, I played basketball in high school. So the private school in my town or city or whatever, was very expensive, but I was there playing basketball. But anyway, a lot of the kids that went there come from very wealthy families, so I don't think I'd be the only helicopter there, but I'd be the only one that paid for it himself.
Then go the other way.
I'm gonna show up in an Uber.
Yeah, show up in an Uber.
Yeah. Have some drinks, have a good time.
Toyota Corolla or something like that.
Exactly.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Exactly. No, it's weird. In the last 6 months, maybe 40 people from my high school have reached out about working. It's been interesting. Yeah. It's been definitely interesting as like, throughout my ascension, I've lost almost all my friends, made new ones. Like it's been, they don't tell you that part,
Yeah.
It's been
but
tough.
that happens for a reason. Yeah. You kind of look for the people that, the birds of a feather flock together kind of mentality. Yeah. If you have, you're going to be you're the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. You hang out with 5 idiots, you'll be the 6th.
Yep.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's been interesting. When I started Blacklight, we obviously I didn't have the money to pay people's salary. So I was recruiting my friends to come work and paying them the little I could. And as the company grew and we got investors and started dealing with like enterprise clients, we outgrew a lot of the talent we started with. So I've had to fire some people who I consider very, very close friends. That was not easy at all.
No.
So won't be doing that again. But
yeah, it's that is a tough part because then they're kind of like leaning on the friendship to the meritocracy starts kicking in. Does your garage door sound like this? If it does, it's screaming for help. Call Incredible Doors, 931-348-DOOR. We're making garage doors in Murray and Williamson counties work better and sound better. We just make them incredible again. Go to IncredibleDoors.com or call 931-348-DOOR. Follow us on Facebook for specials on maintenance visits, keypads, and other items. 931-348-DOOR. IncredibleDoors.com. Where's everything going for you? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? I hate the question, but it's such a good question.
It's a great question.
5 years out. Yeah. What does it look like?
I want to be happy, healthy. I want to be a dad one day, husband. All that is very important to me. I want to be able to provide for my family. I want to have free time. I think like for me, like something that entrepreneurship has taught me, and I can't believe I'm saying this somewhere because I always thought whoever said that it is lying, but money doesn't really buy you happiness. Like I thought you make 10K a month, you'll be happy. You felt nothing, 20, nothing, 100, you feel nothing. You feel nothing.
Right.
And so now it's just about building a foundation where I'm able to build a life where I can be a present father, a good husband, a good son, sibling. So that I'm pretty hell bent on building that life for myself.
That's the Rick Moranis model.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
He's an actor. He was in Ghostbusters, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, all those movies.
Yeah.
And when he, he had a lot of success in Hollywood and as an actor, I guess he was smart with his money.
Yeah.
And when he became, a father, he was able to kind of hang up the acting and do what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Be a present dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, to be honest, I'm a little sick in the head. I don't think I'll ever be able to stop the entrepreneurship thing either, but I look forward to being able to balance both. Right now, there's not much of a balance, as you can probably imagine, but just building that balance in my life would be good.
What's the daily schedule for you? What are you typically doing?
Wake up about 5:45, 6, go to the gym. I'm in the office by 8. I'm there till about 8, go home, call it a day,
8 to 8.
Actually, so right now we're opening, as I mentioned, an office in California, and they're 2 hours behind. So I go home and I get on meetings because we just got a lease on a building. So building that out, just hired our first 2 people out there. So just hustling to get California off the ground.
With an entrepreneurial mindset, it's a little bit of recklessness that comes along with it.
It's like 90% of it, right?
Yeah.
It's just trying shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just hustling.
And then, like even putting a team together in California and trusting them that they're going to do things the way you want it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you handle and manage that?
That's a great question. I think if I could point at one thing and say this is the biggest reason I've seen any success is surrounding myself with people who are better than me at the things I'm not good at. And so I understand exactly who I am and what I'm good at and what I'm not. So in California, for instance, is finding people to fulfill the roles that I know I won't need to babysit, nor am I qualified to babysit them to do. And making sure, like something you said earlier that stuck with me is like, do you love what you do? And thankfully I found the people in California that love to do what they do. And what they do happens to be what I need in California. So I trust them. I have full faith in them. I'll be around obviously, and they'll feel pressure. But yeah, I think it's finding the people that are there for the right reasons.
What's the big core what's at the core of the Blacklight idea?
Yeah.
What is it that you're really solving for the problem that you're solving for businesses?
It's a good question. I think offering scaling solutions while having skin in the game. I think most businesses, whether they're large or big, don't want to feel like they're being taken advantage of. They get approached by vendors 300 times a day. We're the only ones going to them telling them that we don't make money unless they make money. And that carries a lot of weight with them. And
scaling in the sense of the marketing.
Of the revenue we generate from them. Yeah, marketing being one thing. But again, being business partners with them, we also take a look at their back end and optimize a bunch of things to cut costs up front. We care about margins a lot at Blacklight. And
so I looked at the website. There's a lot of it's like, the SEO, websites, content creation,
advertising, AI integration, all of that. Yeah. We tell everyone we do anything for the right price. So whatever they need, we do it. If we don't have it, they don't need it.
Man. Whatever puts gas in the tank. Exactly. Sure, we can do it.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. They say entrepreneurship's like selling tickets for a plane and learning how to fly it once it's off the air.
Yeah. We call jumping out of a plane and putting the parachute together while you're on your way down.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's kind of like what we had to do. We had like I said, we've had a tight season, with the economy kind of doing what it did in the last couple of years. Yeah. We're not in a commodity, so to speak, with the lighting business being one of the biggest revenue drivers of our business. Yeah. A lot of car washes in that industry, just like, well, we could kind of hold off. Like, it is a need to have a light show in their car wash because you got to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
But it's like, once that wave came to shore, it was kind of like, okay, what's the next thing?
Yeah. What other verticals do you guys work in?
We're basically, we're car washes mainly, but getting into hospitality would be nice. Been trying to find a way to get into
restaurants.
Yeah, hotels, all that stuff.
Yeah, we work with a lot of them.
Do you?
Yeah, we should talk.
Yeah, because a lot of hotels are putting colored lights on their buildings.
Yeah. We do like all the Jonathans in Nashville. We do the Rutledge. Sirocco is a great new spot that popped up. Rutledge is down. It's at the Four Seasons, the first floor.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like
they're also in Cool Springs too, right?
Yeah. They have 2 locations. Yeah. And Jonathan's I think has like 17 now.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is getting the municipalities to get on board with the onslaught of colored lighting. Like Murfreesboro, Franklin, they don't like it.
Yeah.
We had
even on the interior?
Interior's one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think interior they can get away with it, but typically on the exterior they're like
Okay.
Like I want to get to the point where we have color changing parking lot lights.
That'd be cool.
Dude.
That'd be sick.
Imagine that. You're like Valentine's Day. Hey, the whole parking lot's pink.
Yeah.
You know, or red, or, you know, pink for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
It's so funny because we had a car repair shop like a stone's throw that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's like with some of the LED light technology, the drivers had it was a chip issue. So something happened with all the chips in the technology, however they put them together.
Yeah.
And because of this issue, all the lights turned purple.
Mm.
So at this one particular place, it was Honest One Auto Care in Spring Hill here. All their lights, I'm driving by, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
The whole thing was purple.
Yeah.
Even the parking lot, I'm like, that looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It was by accident.
Yeah,
it was because the freaking chips had a problem.
Uh-huh.
But you see, where was it recently I saw that happening? Oh, it was by on Berry Farms, by Publix, right across where the new In-N-Out's going.
Yeah.
There's a place
Big
down.
In-N-Out guy.
Yeah. Right across from In-N-Out. If you drive down there at night, you'll see, I think it might be the Chick-fil-A, or one of those types of buildings along the road.
Yeah.
All their freaking lights are purple.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks great.
Yeah. Can you do, ironically enough, black lighting?
We have the ability. We looked into having an LED black light at one point.
That'd be sick.
And I think we were somewhat successful, but it's still certainly in beta phase.
Yeah, so that hangar I told you about, during the day, obviously it's like a creative workspace for people in Nashville, but at night we want to turn it to like a cocktail lounge, and I was thinking of having black lights put up for the ambiance there.
I mean, worst comes to worst, you could do a really deep purple off the ones we existingly have, which is a very cool ambiance.
Yeah, I'd love to see what that looks like.
Yeah, you can have it on. I mean, the cool thing is that a lot of our stuff, you can create motion with it.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest appeal. A lot of the car wash guys like that because it attracts the eye.
Right.
You know, we have for the vacuum arches, the booms.
Yeah.
We have tube lights that go on there, and they can do. We're actually getting to the point where the entire property is almost like a unit.
Yeah.
Instead of having each individual fixture do a show of sorts, like maybe you have a little bit of a red to white kind of flow, left to right or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of them are kind of doing that. What if the entire property can do it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're working on stuff like that. We've got our own controller that we've designed.
There's a lot of money in lighting.
There is.
There's a ton of money in lighting.
There is. It's just, putting the time in.
I know that the family that did all the lighting, I don't know if you've heard of the Irvine company, but they own a big portion of Southern California. And I know the family does the lighting for all the stadiums in those areas. And
yeah, it's big.
Killing
That's big ticket.
Killing it. Yeah.
I mean, we could do that kind of work. It's just having the contacts.
Yeah.
We could design the lights that they need, everything.
Yeah.
A lot of our stuff came about because, and even on our website, it says, that's great, but can it do this?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of how our conversations start off.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, it'd be like, well, pretty sure we can, yeah, we can do that. Can we do that? Yeah, that's
every time. Right now, I don't know how, but we got ourselves into, we're filming a documentary that's going to go on Netflix. We've never filmed a documentary before.
Yeah.
Don't tell our clients that.
Need a voiceover guy?
We might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do the
one that knows lighting would be a deal.
I can do lighting.
Yeah. Okay.
We can talk really deep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm actually astounded at what my voice sounds like. I'm not impressed. I need to have a bigger presence on here.
That's all right.
We got to deepen a little bit.
It's funny because it goes deeper and then it gets higher when you get older, I think.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be Sam Elliott.
Not yet. Yeah. I'm going for Morgan Freeman down the line.
Morgan Freeman. You just got to talk like you're an old man.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Question for you. I ask this to everyone I meet with, in this space at least. So as you know, 27, moved here 3 years ago, growing very quickly. There's no blueprint for what we're doing. As you know, entrepreneurship, people make shit up and they go and they figure it out as they go. Mm-hmm. From the outside looking in, what advice would you give?
To you?
Yeah.
Interesting question. It's one of those things that now that you're asking me to marinate on it, I'll come up with something.
Yeah. You won't hurt my feelings. So you can dig deep or not. And I know we're just getting to know each other. So I don't expect
I mean,
a crazy answer.
I mean, a lot of things like what you're going to do, culture plays a big part into it. Mm-hmm. Always keep your culture in your main focus.
Yeah.
Because that's, as a CEO, that's pretty much your main job.
Yeah.
Is making sure that your people know why and who they're working for.
Yeah.
And if they're all rowing in the same direction with the same ferocity,
mm-hmm.
that's only going to benefit you.
Yeah.
There are types of managers that you either, unless you've worked for people in your life, and I've learned from the good ones and the bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
The good ones taught you what to do, the right things to do. The bad ones taught you the things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I've worked for both.
Yeah.
I would say that your culture is one of your biggest assets. And it takes a lot of work to make sure you got a culture that is of a people that will take a bullet for you and that you won't get killed in friendly fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I keep telling people this, like right now, me personally, and our company's at a stage where what we have is very impressive for our age. But if I was 40, nobody would be batting an eye. And so I'm no longer looking to compete with 27-year-olds. We're past that. And our culture is very young and aggressive and hungry. Like our youngest employee, I think, is 21. Our oldest might be 33.
Yeah.
And so as you can imagine, we like doing the same things outside of work. We travel together. We do dinners together. We drink together. We work together. We work out together. And I think now as we're growing and we're expanding to different cities and bringing on senior talent, I'm still figuring out exactly how to form that culture and make it unison across our different offices. I don't want our Nashville office to have one culture and our California to have a different one. I want everything to be intertwined and productive. So it's going to be interesting over the next few years as we mature and we're no longer just a startup, seeing how that fluctuates. It
is. And it starting right from foundation level is the best time to start it. You know, at J Squared here, we have a set of tenets that we all believe in. They're real. Mm-hmm. One of them is like, hey, just because you work here doesn't mean that you're not in sales. Yeah. Everybody's a salesperson. For sure. And everybody, if you bring something to the table, you will make a commission. I don't care if you're the guy putting the lights together or repairing them. Mm-hmm. If you happen to talk about what we do and they come to the table and you bring them to the table and we help you work the deal and stuff, you'll get a commission off it. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We believe in that. We believe in one of the things my father taught me early on was, especially when I was dealing with people in Westchester County, New York, who at that time would look down their noses at the blue collar help. Yeah. Because there was a huge white collar population up there. I would talk to him about that and he goes, dude, he didn't say dude. He would say, look, you need to look at yourself like you're the hero because you're coming into their space knowing how to fix their problem. Yeah. And as soon as you make that mindset shift that you're the hero to help them out, you'll act accordingly. Yeah. He said, but as long as you see yourself as less than, they'll treat you that way. Yeah. And so that was one of the things that I brought along from his wisdom was one of the things you'll see here is we have a sticker, be the hero. I like it. You're speaking about Joe Rogan earlier. I remember a few years ago, I was watching one of his podcasts and I don't remember verbatim what he said, but it was essentially that if you live your life as if they're filming a documentary about you, you'll work a lot harder. And I think that's the first thing I think about when I wake up every morning is what would I do if people were filming? And the plan was to show this to my kids one day. Yeah. I'd want them to be proud. So that's why I wake up, I go to the gym, I work till midnight. And I know that one day it'll pay off and I'll be able to show my kids this is why we're living how we're living now and you're comfortable in X, Y, and Z. It's funny you hit on another thing because it's a lot of reasons why I do this podcast. Mm-hmm. My father had, my brother will tell you the same thing. He had such a big impact on us and we miss him tremendously. He's been gone now. It'll be 20 years in September. I'm sorry. It's 20 years. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But, you don't realize what you had until it's gone. Yeah. And, I think about him probably at least on a weekly basis now. Mm-hmm. And wishing, hey, as I'm going through this stage of life, knowing that you went through something similar, I would love to talk to him and ask him, dude, what was going through your mind? Yeah. What were some of the challenges? Be honest with me. Mm-hmm. What was the day like that you just felt like not getting up? Yeah. We, as entrepreneurs, we all have those days. Yeah. Let's be honest. There are days where we get it, and if you haven't had them, you will have them, where you're just going to be like, I just don't feel like doing this today. If you haven't had them, you're not working hard enough. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I just want to, cash in a coin and just check out for the day. Or I just don't want to do this anymore. You're going to have those days. Yeah. And just to talk to them again. So that's a big reason why I do this podcast. My kids will be able to go back and listen to this. Mm-hmm. My grandkids will be able to listen to this or watch it. As long as there's an internet and there's this stuff still out there, they'll be able to hear their father, their grandfather, great-grandfather. Yeah. I'm very real. Yeah. I'm very transparent and real about the stage of life. I don't care what people think of me in terms of, success or not success. Am I crushing it financially at 50? Hell no. But I'm still here and I'm still showing up. As long as you're happy, it's all that matters, right? It's like that old, the scene from Rocky Balboa. Mm-hmm. Familiar with it? Mm-hmm. Life will keep you down and keep you down if you let it. Yeah. But it's not how hard you can get hit or how hard you hit. It's how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. Right. There's so much truth to that. For sure. Life will be the biggest opponent you will ever have. For sure. Every year since, I think I started this when I was 19. I just got chills. Got the goosebumps. Yeah. Got like almost emotional.
Yeah. I'm about to start tearing up here in a second. Since I've been, as you know, I've been doing the entrepreneurship thing for a while, and I've been having like these big dreams since fourth grade, as I shared with you. So I think I was like 18, 19 or 20. I don't remember. I can find out. But every year for my birthday, I film a video when I'm alone, and I tell the camera what I'm going to accomplish this year or over the next few years. And I think it was my first one. But when I was 19, I was filmed a video. And I said, one day you'll be in a new city, living in a high rise, running a business with 20. And then this last year, I fast forward and I'm showing my high rise. I'm showing the building. Does that make me happy? The high rise doesn't matter, but seeing the opportunities I'm providing to people I care about, and seeing that, like, wow, over the last, that would be 7 years, we didn't give up even once. Like that to me is very fulfilling. More than the money, more than the power. It's knowing that you created value out of thin air.
Well, it's kind of crazy, because a lot of my energy goes into this partnership I have with this business, but I still have my old side hustle business, if you will, that, kind of facilitates a lot of different, fulfillment of expenses that we have at the household, and it's like, I call it JMVO Enterprises. And typically it was a lot of podcasting, voiceover, video work until I just brought it on board here with it'sYourShow.co within the purview of our company. But I still have to make sure that company's fed because it's paying a lot of different bills and stuff like that. Yeah. And as of recently, I had a client that just, right about a year ago, they just a good monthly retainer just went away, and I was like, "Oh gosh,
that's tough."
But I'm like, well, I can work with what I have and just keep on focusing on here. But all of a sudden, everything once the pressure starts building, you're like, okay, I need to pay attention over here.
Yeah.
And I once upon a time would have kind of retracted, I guess you could say, and just worry about how am I going to make ends meet with what's coming in, instead of having the mindset of like, I still have control over optimizing opportunities and looking for them in that space, which 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I didn't have that mindset. Now I do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happened to me in the last 5 years that would have crushed me 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But, you just kind of get older and you're like, all right, let's just do this.
Yeah.
And I started really envisioning certain scenarios, like the one client, that retainer, I always said, we're not done yet. You'll be back.
Yeah.
And they're coming back.
Yeah.
Right now we're having conversations where they're coming back. So I just knew they would. Yeah. We all have those scenarios. Like when I moved to Vegas, or had the opportunity to move to Vegas from Connecticut, from the radio station in Connecticut to the station I went to work for in Vegas, I knew that was my job. Mm-hmm. That's my job. Yeah. The minute I heard from the guy, he was on my answering machine at the time. He's like, "Oh, my name is Gavin Spittle. I'm the program director. Got your, production package for this position. Love to talk to you." As soon as I heard his voice, I said, "That's my job." Yeah.
I
just knew.
Worked out.
I just knew.
What do you do for stress? Like right now you're talking about like, you had a retainer leave, and obviously it's stressful. Like that keeps me up at night. We feed 25 people. They pay rent with our money every month. So I don't take that lightly. That keeps me up at night, wakes me up in the morning. And there's months where we got to come up with 50 grand over in 48 hours.
So glad you asked. My business partner, who I'd love for you to meet, I don't know if he went to lunch now, but his name is John Warner. He's got a tremendous grounding in the Christian faith. The Bible is like an organ to him. And he's very articulate, very intelligent about it, but he's also one of the most amazing business strategy minds I've ever come across. He's astoundingly smart. But he, one of our tenets is there is no crisis. Because what we'll find is that a lot of our Gen Z, Gen Y employee base are kind of they're figuring out how to work in a corporate environment. They're going through all the things that we remember going through, and everything. Well, hey, I messed up. Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. Whose fault is it? Or is it my fault? Yeah. I don't want it to be my fault. I don't want to look in the mirror. I got to be the pointing octopus. Yeah. We temper that with saying, look, there is no crisis. I've learned that from him. He's younger than me. Yeah. But the guy had a widowmaker heart attack at age 32. Wow. So he considers everything past that heart attack
house money, right?
Bonus time. Yeah. And he says, his whole attitude is there is no crisis. Stop acting like there is, because it'll help you. If you think it's a crisis, it's going to cloud your judgment. Yeah. So that's a way to handle stress. Yeah. I have the faith that this is just going to work. And we're gonna figure it out, dude. We've been scratching by on payrolls for the past like 3 months. Okay, how are we gonna make the next one? I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Thankfully,
my CFO deals with that more than I do, so he can deal with that one.
Well, I mean, collectively, the three of us are like the CFO brain. Yeah. But hey, we understand. Hey, payroll needs to be met. Yeah. All right, who can I talk to?
Yeah. No, my CFO is great. He's the one I told you about that we met here. He grew up in Michigan. Shout out Alex. But he's the most interesting man in the world. He, at one point, I don't want to leak his business, but he's made millions of dollars, drives a Mazda 3, does not motivated by material things at all.
Right.
Everything about him is progress and fun and the algorithm of building a business.
He's in love with the game.
Yeah, he's in love with the game, and it's perfect because I'm a hyper aggressive spender, and so having him be our grounding base while I push for growth, it's a good balance we have.
It sounds like almost like you're familiar with Gary Vee.
Yeah,
he sounds like Gary Vee.
Yeah,
I don't think he's very materialistic.
Yeah, not at all.
I think he might drive a Range Rover.
Yeah,
that's about as
it's a write off at that weight too. Yeah,
and he's like, he doesn't care about. He loves the daily grind.
Yeah,
this is how he breathes.
That's honestly been my favorite part is the people I've built it with. Like even now, like we're not a huge company, right? We're 2 years in, we've seen some success. We're still growing, but if I can look back at the last 2 years, my favorite parts are the moments where there wasn't a lot of help, not a lot of money. It was just a few of us just grinding. And like Alex is probably one of my best friends in the world. And my other Jeremy, Braden, these other guys I'm building this business with, we're like best friends because we've been through so much together. And that's by far my favorite part. I heard someone say, it's not my quote or my thought, but they asked somebody far more successful than myself, what's your favorite part about building a company? His answer was the company. It's like the people you do it with. Yeah. And that I definitely resonate with that very much. A lot
of it is like, you've been through this several times with the starting and failing, or the challenges in that. You're willing to accept that, well, hey, this may work out. They may not work out either.
Yeah.
It's a reality.
It's funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Good.
Yeah, obviously my dad is very traditional in the sense of like get an education, go get a job. And this year for the first time, he finally was like, all right, you're sick in the head. I know you'll figure it out at this point. Like he always pushed me, like, you should get a job. Like this entrepreneurship thing, what happens if it fails? What happens and now it's at a point where even he's like, all right, clearly you're not going to stop. So at this point, I'm going to stop trying to convince you to be regular.
How old's your dad?
He's 61.
Okay, so he's about 11 years older than I am.
Yeah.
So he's definitely of the generation. That was a way to think.
Yeah.
And once upon a time that was true. Mm-hmm. But now we're the gig economy has to be a thing now because that's the only way you're going to make ends meet.
It's the only way to excel. Like it is. It's the only way. Like
you got to have multiple revenue streams. Yeah. And that's the thing is that when you do just go get the education, get a job, you're at the most risk. Yeah.
Also, a college degree doesn't get you what it did 50 years ago.
No.
I have family that, went to crazy schools. Right now, we can't get into that. Like you need like a 5.0 since like fourth grade to get into school like UCLA or like Harvard.
Which is crazy because it's like, what is really that's people still want to do this? Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a downtrend in matriculation.
Also, trending. No, who cares? Like we've interviewed at this point probably 100 people. I don't know if we've ever cared where they went to school. And granted, what do I know, right? I'm still figuring it out. But like I would imagine after your first job, if you are somebody that goes to college and gets that degree, I'd imagine the only people that care are the first people that hire you. After that, all anyone's asking is where'd you work before here?
Right. Well, I think a lot of people coming out of college are going to have very humbling conversations with their first set of employers.
Yeah.
I know we've had them here. Well, I have a master's. That's great.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
that just tells me you have debt. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, you're good at
wrong decision.
Taking on massive amounts of debt, and you were able to get a piece of paper. Fantastic.
Yeah. What do you look for when you hire someone? What are the things you're most attracted to?
Character, attitude. Attitude over aptitude all day long. Because I just hired a guy, and I said, look, as long as I could train you as much as you if you're willing to learn, and you got a great attitude. Yeah. Dude, attitude is everything. It really is.
It is.
Even my friends that are in the music business that ride a bus, one of their big things, because a lot of it is, hurry up and wait in the touring world.
Yeah.
Because you're waiting, 20 hours to go work, essentially. You better be a good hang on the bus. That's a big
You can't
factor.
be a buzzkill.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
That's a huge factor.
Yeah, I agree. Especially like with us, like nothing, there's a few things we do that are very technical, but for the most part, we're not building rockets. And so every role at our company, it's all effort and grit. And like you said, attitudes. We hire based off those things.
What are you coming across when you interview people like non-college degreed people versus college degreed people? What's a common factor that you're finding between the two?
It's a hard question to answer. Off the top of my head, the first thing I notice difference is and not everybody, but oftentimes, like you kind of said this, somebody comes in, they're like, well, I have a degree from this school. And my response is, what does that do for me? I don't understand the value in that. So almost a sense of entitlement with the people that do have a degree, especially when they paid a lot of money for it. And they probably did learn a lot of valuable things there, but I really value whether you went to college or not, somebody who has tried many times and failed many times, because that tells me you know what it's like to not succeed right away. And in our industry, because we're a startup, we don't give people a year to figure it out. Like if you're not providing value relatively soon, you won't be with us very long.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like people that come in with grit and that ambition, knowing that they're going to pick it up quickly.
Are those expectations laid out pretty clearly, like KPIs?
Crystal.
Really?
Yeah, very crystal. Yeah. Yeah, I take it super, super seriously.
Because I learned the hard way about not setting expectations with an employer once.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go into the car business. I came out of radio, and I had a little bit of an offshoot, a detour, if you will.
Yeah.
A local chain of collision centers.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guy who was huge on radio with his advertising. He actually he hired a musicologist to create a jingle in the light of Mambo No. 5.
Yeah.
Little bit of Monica in my life.
Banger, yeah.
Yeah. So basically his whole thing, his name was Bobby Price. The business is called Price's Collision.
Yeah.
And his whole thing is Price's Collision Center, Price's. He recrafted the whole thing, and it was an earworm.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was pervasive. And he spent about $100,000 a month on just mass media, radio advertising, TV advertising.
Expensive.
He came into the radio station a week into my 2-week notice as I was leaving the industry. And first time I'd ever met the guy, and I've always heard about him, and I always heard about him kind of being a little bit difficult. But he and I started talking, and he's like, "Why are you leaving?" I said, "I'm just kind of done, man." He's like, "What are you going to do?" I'm going to go sell cars with Steve Brink and Crest Honda. He goes, "Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself into?" I said, "Yeah, I have an idea.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of it."
Yeah.
He goes, "What is it that you do?" So I told him all the things I did. I said, I could produce radio ads. I write, marketing all day long. I can produce video, the whole 9 yards. He's like, "I've been looking for somebody like you for years." Oh, let's talk. So we went to lunch and, talked about it. I named my price. He agreed like too quickly.
Yeah. You should have went higher.
Lesson number 1.
Yeah.
Started with him a couple of weeks later. And within the first week I was there, he probably fired 7 people.
Yeah.
Just because they might have looked at him wrong. So I'm like, well, I'm working for a wonky, fire-happy boss.
Yeah.
I'm making great money. My wife is like, well, we can do this and this. I said, wait a minute. Sock it away. I don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah.
And that was one of the big learning experiences, was not setting the expectations. Because he was like, well, in 3 months, was it even 2.5 months in? He's like, it's just not moving the needle. I said, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I probably should have set that expectation at the get-go.
Yeah.
But man, this is going to take a lot longer than 3 months to move.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
How much of the needle needs to move?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What are the KPIs?
Yeah.
All those questions I never asked.
Yeah. For us, it's kind of a gray area because I'm aware that we don't know everything. So every single person we hire, 1 through 30, I tell them, be a disruptor, teach me something. Otherwise you won't last here. Like we're a startup, right? Like people need to make an actual difference. Every single one of our payroll people actually matter. And so early on, as I mentioned, it was kind of a frat. I hired all my friends. It was fun or whatever. And what started happening is we brought more efficient talent, people that were actually disruptors. When they saw me fire my best friends, what message did that send to them?
Mm-hmm.
Is that there's zero tolerance for not contributing, like zero, especially if I'm slaving away and I'm there till midnight. And I see you show up late, leave early, drink during lunch. It's going to go terribly.
Really? That happened?
Yeah, it went terribly very quickly.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly.
Yeah, when you're looking at, you're trying to create the culture, that's a fine line you got to walk, because you are signaling to the rest of your staff, and if you start having a culture out of fear rather than favor, that's something you really got to watch.
Yeah.
Because I would rather have my people know that they're empowered. And having the strategic conversations that, hey, if you are messing up, like, hey, we need to make sure that we're doing this, blah, 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 this is so egregious, this particular event, that if it does happen again, if we need to talk about it again, you do understand the conversation is going to be of a different nature.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And that's a lot of that's how we kind of treat it. If what they're doing is so egregious, if anything, I'd rather them leave us, on a good note and find something better opportunity. That's a great way to leave. Leave the door open, fine.
Yeah.
But if, you have to cut somebody loose, they shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I think that's probably the next step in my professional journey as far as development. I think, as you can probably imagine, as I'm sure you relate to, like getting to the point I'm at now, I've hustled a lot for a very long time and failed a lot. So my tolerance for bullshit is it's not there.
But here's the thing, and this is something Gary Vee says. I don't know if you ever heard him say this, and maybe this is, if I were to give you wisdom or advice, I think earlier you asked me, no one's ever going to see it as your business like you see it.
Never. Yeah,
They're not, because they're not the owners.
for sure.
So, even though you can't have that expectation on them.
Yeah. I don't
It's not
expect them
realistic.
to care as much as me. I expect them to care. I just don't want to feel like it's just a paycheck. If it's just a paycheck, it's not the right fit.
Right.
We're still not big enough to fail.
Well, there's to
not
part,
fail, I mean.
that's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Well, if we're just a paycheck to you, then I'm just going to see you as a commodity as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what can I get out of you in the time that we have together?
Yeah.
And if it kind of blossoms into something different, great. We'd love to see you stick around, especially if you provide value to the company.
Yeah.
But if you're seeing us just a paycheck, then yeah, we're going to be a job. We're not going to be a career.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
We're definitely not going to be friends.
Right.
That's
but that's, friends or otherwise, always make friends.
Yeah.
That's one of the car business. If you can't make a sale, make a friend.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. The CFO I told you about is from the car business as well.
Yep.
That's where he kind of sharpened his teeth.
Dude, that's one of the best business schools.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot. Ironically, I've never worked in one, but I keep hearing that.
It's for anybody who doesn't know why, like I told my daughter this, is go sell cars.
Mm-hmm.
If college doesn't work out, dude, there's always a way to make something. I said, do what I did. You're 19. If college doesn't work out, you're 20, 21. Great.
Mm-hmm.
You still got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Go fall on your face.
Yeah.
Fail.
Yeah,
Eat dirt. All right. Go sell cars.
Yeah.
It's a great experience. Understand, you got to be there bell to bell. You're going to be eating dirt. You're going to be learning, though.
Mm-hmm.
And understand that, in the next 5 years, which will go like that, you're going to look back on it and go, oh my gosh, that went by fast.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. You're going to come away with so much more wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to know how to talk to people. You're going to understand finance. You're going to understand how to get, work with banks. You're going to understand how to, position an opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, all the things.
When we hire salespeople, we love when they come from a car dealership because they're used to killing what they eat or eating what they kill.
Yeah.
And so they have the right attitude as far as hunger and ambition. And our culture is, as you can imagine, very young and aggressive. And so they fit the mold very, very well.
Yeah.
But they're making a lot of money selling cars if they're the good ones. So that's
if they're a good one, yeah, it's a good dealership to work for.
Yeah.
There's so many different factors in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome, man. How do people find and follow you? I'm sure you're on social media. You're building a personal brand.
We're about to start, which is why Kaylin's here filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still working on that name. We have a few suggestions. That's not there yet, but our Instagram's just Blacklight GRP.
Here's another piece of wisdom just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Conversation begets creativity, right?
Yeah.
I love the aspect of that. You are a successful local businessman that's starting to, you think big,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a humility about you. Okay. Own that.
Yeah.
Don't try and come off like, I want to give, I've done all these things. You've done a lot of big things,
Mm-hmm.
but to somebody, there's nothing, I don't want to say worse, but I mean, like we were talking about the BS meter earlier,
Mm-hmm.
just be real on your post, man.
Yeah.
Just be real. I see so many people that are trying to pose and be who they're not.
Yeah.
A guy here locally that does podcast production. He's like, oh, we're the podcast. I'm like, dude, you have not been doing this a long time to call yourself this.
Yeah.
We can create content that'll go viral. No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
We constantly create content that's viral for us. And you go look at it and it's like the same amount of hearts every single post. There's hardly any engagement, hardly any comments, hardly any shares. I'm like, dude, who are you fooling?
Yeah. It's so easy to see. Too.
It is so easy.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. We tell everyone we pitch, it's the same, like in marketing is not a transaction, it's an investment. And so we tell people what works today isn't going to work next month. So when you pay someone to do your marketing, you're betting on who's going to figure it out first. And that's
but I think a lot of marketing comes down to, do I feel like you're genuine?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to BS me?
Yeah.
Level with me.
Yeah.
That's a lot of my marketing strategy with any business is just like, keep it simple and level with me.
It resonates better.
It does.
Yeah.
Because
Like you
people
said,
want you to be real.
Yeah. They're hypersensitive to when you're not.
Yeah.
And that's in every advertising media, whatever the case may be. People see right through it.
So as you're making content, keep that in mind. Keep that at the back of your mind that I just want to be curious,
Mm-hmm.
humbly curious.
Yeah.
I guess would be a good
Thank
definition.
you. I appreciate it. Did you hear that, Kaylin? We were talking about the
because
way
it's
here.
endearing. Like, hey, I am successful, but I'm still green.
Yeah.
I don't know it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's so many people that want to come off like they're knowing it all.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Yeah.
You don't have the clout. You have, here's another phrase I'll kind of come up with. Calculated clout.
Mm-hmm.
You have the clout. You've been doing it. You have a track record of success. But man, that humility that comes along with it is so endearing.
Good.
It'll go a long way.
Appreciate it. It's so fun. I'm refreshed to hear you say that because Kaylee was worried it wouldn't be there.
Right.
Right, Kaylee?
But as I got to know you just
Yeah.
over this past hour or so,
Yeah.
dude, that's what's coming across to me. So.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure. It's been really nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Hope we get to do this again.
Well, let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a podcast.
I need some lights for sure.
We can
Let's
make
start with
that
that.
happen too. Well, there you go, guys. This is the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast. If you want to check us out and share this episode, if it's been impactful, check us out at mmtbp.com. You can also go to mostlymiddletennesseebusinesspodcast.com. It's a lot longer to write out. That's why I truncated it down to mmtbp.com. There is an application there that you can fill out and apply to be on the show. Hopefully you're from the area. That would be nice because it is a Middle Tennessee-based podcast, but sometimes we go outside that purview. Everything's right there, man. And yeah, man, Ander, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.